how to use HoneyBook in 2023. Let's get it. Hey guys, Krista here from DaSilva Life and welcome back to our channel. As a HoneyBook Pro, I have seen so many incredible changes in this past year, so I'm super excited to make this new video going through everything that's changed in the platform and really just give you a better holistic idea of how it works and some helpful tips if you're just diving into setting it up. Or maybe you've been using it for quite some time now, but with all these new features, you're like, I just wanna know, am I doing it right? That's one of the biggest things we get as clients come to us asking us to help them set up their HoneyBook is I know it could do so much, but I don't even know where to start. So I hope this video gives you clarity. What we're gonna go through is an overview of the entire platform, what things are, what's the difference between a client project, client portal, should I add it as a client, a project, etc. And then we're gonna dive into things like what the heck is a smart file, what can I do with them, what should I do with them, and then once you get the basics down, we'll talk about more advanced topics like automations and getting into really saving you so much time and energy while making sure you're nurturing your clients well. So with that, don't want to waste any time. We got a lot of ground to cover. Let's dive in. So here we are in HoneyBook in the home screen. This is going to be your central hub to know what is going on inside your entire account. So let's just walk through these different little widgets on the front and then what they do. So in this projects widget, you're gonna see this is where there's gonna be any updates about projects. Do you have any new inquiries? Are there any messages that have been sent that you haven't seen yet? Any contracts signed, invoices paid, all that good stuff. When you click into the project, then it'll bring you right to the portal. And if you need to do something like countersign a proposal or respond to an email, then those should stay there until they have been taken care of, like signing a contract. The calendar is going to show you if you have any upcoming events, and if this is linked to your Google Calendar, it will also sync there as well. The task section is where you can either put one-off tasks for yourself or you can attach them to client projects. I'll show you that when we get into the client portal. Or this will be places where there are things triggering from the automations. Like, do you have to approve any emails or smart files to go out to your clients? But you can always just add one-off tasks, put a due date on it to make sure you are staying on top of all the tasks within your business. So then you have the report section. This is going to tell you how much money you have made for the year. And bookkeeping, you'll be able to see any outstanding or upcoming payments. And then when you click into here, you'll also get a granular view of all the payments upcoming and all that good stuff. So your home screen, again, is going to be where you come in to just check in, okay, is there anything that I have to tend to within my HoneyBook account? Then we get into the projects pipeline. So if you click into projects, you're now going to see a pipeline of all of the different stages a project can fall under. You'll see how many active projects you have, and there will be some templated stages here as well. So then when you click into each of these stages, you can then see which projects fall under each one, and then also easily move them from stage to stage. So another thing I want to note about this, when you first download your HoneyBook account, I believe the initial ones will be inquiry, follow-up, proposal sent, contract signed, retainer paid, planning, and then completed and archived. So there are some of these stages, just to note, that it will automatically bring a project into those stages. So for example, when someone inquires through your contact form, they're automatically going to be put in the inquiry stage. As soon as you send anything to them, an email, a brochure, anything like that, they will automatically be moved into follow-up. So you will know the inquiries are just people that you have not done anything with yet. Then when you send them a proposal or contract or anything like that, it will say proposal sent. It will automatically be moved into there. When they sign, they'll be moved into contract signed. When they pay, they'll be put into retainer paid. and then completed and everything else will be manually. You'll have to put them in those stages. So either you can click here and move this stage, or when you click into any of the projects themselves, let me unclick from here, you can also move the stage over here in this column section. So another thing about this is you can also customize this pipeline. So you can see I also added a stage onboarding, discovery call, support phase. If you want to do that, you're just going to click into customize, add whatever that stage name is, drag it into the pipeline wherever you want it to fit along the process, and then click save and exit, and then it will show up there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one, confirm, and then save and exit. And then one more note, you might be thinking, what's the difference between deleting and archiving? When you click into a project and you go to either archive it or to delete it, hold on, let me find one that's actually owned by me. Okay, so when you come into here, you can see these 3 dots here, you can delete a workspace. So if you delete a project, that means you can never get that project and the contents back. I only ever recommend deleting a project if like you're testing things out or potentially it was like a duplicate of something. If it's just a lead who decided not to book or anything like that, I would suggest archiving the project instead of deleting. There are very few instances where I would suggest deleting a project. Okay, so that is the pipeline. And now let's just take a closer look into the client portal. So like I just clicked into here, you can see in the client portal, this is going to be where you have a working portal of information about this lead or potential project or existing project. You have this feed of emails back and forth. You're able to see any files that have been sent back and forth. With the emails, you're also able to see if this person has responded to you or not. Read the email or not. And then also on the files, especially the smart files now, you're able to see if they have viewed that smart file or not. Okay, so I actually want to come into, that was my test account, and show you that now since smart files have rolled out, you can see that I've sent these smart files here, and then you'd be able to see 0 of 4 pages completed, and we'll get into smart files shortly. Okay, so you have the activity, the files, which you and the clients are also able to upload any attachments or PDFs or other files to the client portal as well, and they would then be put here in the attachments and images section. Payments, and then the project details. So here's where you're going to say, okay, what's the project name? The type, this is linked to your project types in the company settings section. The project date, location, there may be other fields here that are unique to if you're like a venue or something like that. And then about the project. Down here you can see any notes that you can add privately about this project. And then on the side here, the client won't be able to see any of this as well. So this is where you can change the stage, the lead source, add any notes, add any additional team members. The time tracker, you can track time against this, add tasks, automations, and then related workspaces as well. So that's that section. Then you can add participants. So this is where you can add more people to the project if there are maybe more than one person involved in that client project. Schedule meetings, upload attachments, and then create new files from here as well. So contract, invoice, proposal, questionnaire, services, scheduler block, custom, smart file, and we'll get into smart files shortly. So this client project section is really the place for you to keep everything in one place related to this client and all of your communication back and forth. So while we're in the client project, you also might be wondering when you should add something as a new project or a new client. And this is a really common question. So you'll see here that my client is John Smith. I know it's my picture, don't be confused. Let's pretend it's John Smith. So he is now a client in my contacts in my HoneyBook. Now, John might have multiple projects down the line, right? This is just one project, but maybe he has another one 6 months from now. So when you're adding a brand new fresh client, or they've been added themselves, right, because they put their information in the contact form, then they'll automatically be created as a new client and a new project. If you're adding someone brand new, you're always going to click new client, put in their information, it's going to add them, and then create a project for them. And if you are creating a new project for a repeat client, say you're a photographer and you're going to do a new mini session, you did their portrait 6 months ago, but they want to do a Christmas mini session, then you would click new project. You would do, let's say, DaSilva Christmas mini session. You would put the project type, obviously I don't have mini session in here, put the date if there is one yet, and then click create project. As soon as you create the project, now you'd be able to add their information and add them as a participant to this new project. So if we go back to the project's pipeline, now this is where you would have DaSilva mini session and then DaSilva portraits, right? So they would be two separate projects and you can manage them separately. Okay, so that's more about the pipeline and inside the client portal. Now let's get into the templates. So if you go into Tools, My Templates, this is where you'll have access to all your templates and smart files. So let's just go through a few quick examples of what you can do with smart files. But note, if you want all the granular details, number one, we have a HoneyBook course. Number two, we have an entire playlist on YouTube just going through HoneyBook smart files. So I want to quickly go just through a quick example or two to show you the power that they have. And then if you want the details, go check it out. Okay, so for example, with the smart files, smart files essentially are so customizable to be whatever you want. They could either just be a brochure that almost mimics a little mini website, or for example, a photography style guide. They could be a contract, whether it's just a contract or it's a proposal, so it has a contract and invoice. Maybe you want an entire booking file experience where you have package selections, maybe you have package A and B. You send it to your client and say, which one do you want? They select package A, and then the next page they can sign and pay their deposit and book all in one swoop. It's really amazing. You can do so many things with smart files. So let me just show you a couple quick examples. So here is the photography style guide that we've created. These are content blocks that just have text. These ones have images. You can also embed videos. I'll show you one of those as well. And so if I click preview, you can see as I scroll down how nice of a client experience this is. This is just a custom smart file that has custom text and images. Then let's go to a one-page brochure. So now this is a brochure, if I preview, that has a video, and this is saying, hey, here's what's included in this package that we offer. It's here's what's included, here's the process, here's the pricing, and then next steps. So you can see here, this is a service selection block. Here's a video embedded in there. If I go down, here's a service selection block where they can actually make selections. And then lastly, let's go to an example of a proposal. So here's the proposal. When I click preview, you'll see the first page is the contract. The client can e-sign, click of a button, so easy. Next, you'll be able to see the invoice, the custom payment schedule. Next, collect the payment. And then cheers, add a little bit of fun personality and just make your client hyped that they have officially booked and you're so excited to work together. So that is an example of a smart file proposal. So you can see there are so many different types of content and things that you can create with smart files and really make this custom to you and your process. So you can make these smart files be whatever you want, sort them into different folders. Then you also have your emails, your canned email section, your packages, contact forms, gift cards, and email signature. Another really cool thing, I highly recommend checking out the template gallery. They have so many amazing templates that either you can use for your business, just put in your information, your branding, or use these to gain inspiration of how you can make Smart Files custom to you. So that is the template section. Contacts are just going to bring you and see all of the contacts that have ever been added to your HoneyBook account. And you can also actually batch email them. If, say, you're saying, hey, Merry Christmas, or it's something like we're going to be out of office, or hey, we have a new offer. Now, a quick note about this as well. A lot of people think that this batch emails is for email marketing purposes. It really wasn't designed to be that way. When you think of email marketing and getting people into your leads pool, it's more for like email marketing would be like MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Flowdesk, to be able to send weekly newsletters, where this batch emails function is really for your leads and existing clients to be able to mass email everyone like an update or an announcement. Okay, so we went through the home, we went through the project pipeline, contacts, templates. Now let's talk about the schedulers. So the schedulers is one of my favorite features. This is where you can go through and create scheduling sessions that literally, when I click save, if I send this link to anyone, this is connected to my Google Calendar, and the person can just go ahead and schedule a time to get on my calendar. It's going to send them a Zoom link, it's going to send them reminders, and there's never this coordinating back and forth to coordinate schedules to grab a call. You can create schedulers for so many different things. You could see I have check-in calls, I have consultation calls, I have a ton of different sessions, and I have to clean these up for the new year. But this is where you can create all different session types and click of a button, coordinate your schedules with your people. So that is the scheduling session. Also, I highly recommend taking this link and embedding it in the canned emails. That way you can say when someone inquires, hey, do you want to book a call? And then it's in that canned email. Okay, and another thing, make sure when you go to the calendar that you sync your Google Calendar here and connect it so that it is showing up in your HoneyBook, and then your HoneyBook projects show up in your Google Calendar. So everything is synced together and you're not double booking yourself in any way. Okay, so we went through the scheduler. Now let's wrap it all up with the automation section. So when you click into automations, you're going to be able to see all the different things that you can do. Now, I also have another video all on automations on, the intro to what you can do with them, but let me just quickly go through an example one. Okay, so in the automations, you can do things like send an email, create a task, send a smart file, a brochure, questionnaire. You can choose what smart file to send, what email, and then trigger when you want this to happen, and if you want this to be approved before sending or not. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second as well. So just walking through this sample automation, say someone inquires to work with you. Immediately when they inquire, you can send them a brochure with your information, and in that email say, hey, do you want to grab a call? Let's hop on a call, schedule one here, and then link that scheduler like we just mentioned. 48 hours later, you can have a canned email waiting for you. I always have follow-up emails, just a quick tip, as approved before sending, because HoneyBook doesn't know if you're sending things back and forth. Say they say, I'm going to think about it and get back to you on Friday. Say they say, I'm not interested. This gives you the option to go ahead and just approve it or skip it. So you could have a series of canned emails. You could have a welcome email, for example, as soon as the contract is signed or a payment is paid. 30 days before, you can hype them up. Say you're a photographer, you can send them a style guide, maybe 30 days or 14 days before their session. Say you are a wedding venue and you have to collect their vendor information 60 days before. Maybe you send a reminder email that you need to get all that stuff. There's so many things you can do to really deck out your client process with automations that not only nurtures your clients really well, but actually takes work off of your plate. So again, you can do so much with automations, but I just wanted to give you some examples, even like sending a testimonial request email right after that project is done, or maybe 30 days or 14 days later. And then like reminders to move the project to complete, so you're not creating any digital clutter or anything like that. Okay, and then lastly, just showing you when you go into the company settings, this is where you can manage everything within your HoneyBook account, like your preferences, your team, setting up your client portal, managing your branding, uploading your default images, colors, smart file theme, uploading your fonts. So much that you can do in here. But the main goal of HoneyBook is really to be able to manage your clients, manage your projects, set up your templates so you're not recreating the wheel every time, automating as much as possible while also nurturing your clients and putting personal aspects in there as well. So just to wrap up, I want to talk about a couple quick tips to maintain your HoneyBook account as well. So we're back in the home screen. Something that I do every single day is I check on my task section. So when you click into here, this is where you'll see, okay, I have to send this client gift. If you want to pop into that client portal to get any information, you can always click that arrow and then be in here. Did I send that client gift? Awesome. Let me mark that off as complete. Then you're also going to have in here places to see approvals. So if you want to approve this follow-up email, you can either send it, you can skip it, or you can edit it before sending it out. So coming in here, approve and send, you're good to go. So I highly recommend checking in on your task section every single day, especially if you are utilizing it with your automations. Then once a week, I recommend just going through your project pipeline, making sure there aren't any stale leads in there, making sure there's no one that you have to follow up with, or any projects that you have to go ahead and archive or move to completed. And then my last tip for you is at least once a year, I recommend going through, and maybe this is biannually or quarterly, I recommend going into your template section and clearing out any templates that have to be deleted or maybe even moved to an old files folder. That way you're really making sure you're utilizing only the things that are active. And again, we want to make sure we're not creating any digital clutter. Another thing, obviously you want to make sure that you are, checking your notification section every single day, marking anything as read if it's been taken care of, or clicking in there and taking care of anything that needs attention. So that is it. I hope this overview gave you a bit more insight into how you can use HoneyBook and some tips of things that we've seen with our clients and our students to just really help you get started on your HoneyBook journey, or even if you aren't new to HoneyBook but you just gained a little bit more insight into things like automations or the power of smart files. This is the newest version of HoneyBook in 2023, how you can utilize all of its amazing features. So I hope that video is helpful for you and just giving you a better overview of HoneyBook, what it even does, and how you can apply that to your business. I know there are a lot of things to learn about HoneyBook and implement. So if you're wanting that guided support, we actually have an entire course on HoneyBook that has 50+ training videos, some plug and play templates to really help you kickstart your HoneyBook journey and guide you through step by step. So I'll make sure to link it in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. But if you have any other questions around HoneyBook that you would love for us to answer, I love getting video suggestions from you guys because I know that's exactly what you want to see. see. So make sure to drop a comment below if you want to see any specific video tutorials from us in the future. But if this video was helpful for you, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel because there are so many other amazing HoneyBook tutorials waiting for you over there. With that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.